Oh, I'm not hearing any sound. All right, we'll see how that is. They can hear me, so you guys can hear me. We'll see what that is. So we're gonna start with hypnosis, but first, any questions? I sent an announcement saying how I got the dates messed up. I made someone is not next week, it's the week after. So we'll be doing a retest next week. So with them, I'm still going to do it. We're going to do it online. I'm going to try to get a little bit ahead of the lecture. I'll probably do like a half week ahead, but all of your due dates will be again. Just to give us some built-in time there. So continuing on with our altered states of consciousness, we're going to talk about hypnosis. Hypnosis, definition of a textbook, state of consciousness in which the person is especially susceptible to suggestion. And we're going to watch a little TED talk about it, which is pretty cool. Always supposing that I can get the sound going here, but we'll test it right now.
And magic. And I'd like to begin the talk with a wonderfully embarrassing video of himself from when he was 5 years old, walking around the house trying to hypnotize people. Thank you for applauding. That is the beginning of the journey, and 22 years later, an audio that you my childhood dream. This is what people experience when they're joining on stage. Try to open your eyes. Try to get your comfort out of your voice. Just try to open your eyes. I try to open your eyes. Try harder. This seems completely different. I'd like to do this TED talk about humans to finally explain what's happening to someone with hypnosis. And actually, I think that hypnosis is such a ridiculously mystical concept that the vast majority of hypnotists don't actually understand what they're doing. And when I began, I was none the wiser. I want to honestly share the first time I ever successfully hypnotized someone. It was a small family event. It was invited to a magic show. I invited a woman to join me on stage, and just for fun, in a piece of their hypnotic introduction, that they literally heard the night fall from the deck. Just said it word for word. I come to the place that I'm completely stuck to the ground. It's the fun reason it work. I really want to expand the magic. A woman is now apparently stuck to the ground while I'm standing there trying to act confident while I'm trying to figure out that she's pretending with us. Because it's obvious you're made, but for a change, so am I. I have no idea why this is happening, and this looks ridiculous to me. From my point of view, this is real magic. There's no way that the words I just said actually made that happen. And that's for me the session. Let's bring maybe you're Yannick Zion. May I? What's your name? Can I please? Hey, give me like your brother of applause. You okay? You look nervous. Okay. Into face to face. Front. Take a deep breath in. Perfect. And long the breath out. Close your eyes with the name of the eyes. Close side away. Now you're by the way. Also really very soothing and touching the forehead. ahead. Please look forcefully up without opening your eyes. Up because you can begin feeling pressure building, accumulating in your eyes. More and more pressure building in your eyes. So much so that eyes get locked. It gets feeling as if your eyelid or that your eyelashes are to each other. Keep looking up, and realize that the more you try, the more your eyes open. Because you want to try and see your eyes open. Try and see the more you try, the more exactly your eyes open. The more you try, the more your eyes close. And that's really difficult. Keep trying, until it will let go in 3, 2, 1. First of all, Ronald will tell you that. Take the right, just like a little bit forward as it is, thinking not too much. Perfect. Right hand forward, deep breath in, breath out. Deep breath in, and also breath out, just again realizing the right foot just becomes a little bit heavier than usually. All of the right side of the body just becoming hard and loose to the ground. You can imagine the flow basically pitching the again. As you do this, you want to take another deep breath in, deep breath out, and just glue to the ground. You want to gently try and hit the right foot. The more you try, the more it comes. The more you try, the more it blocks. In fact, there's a block on your right foot that your left foot as well. Try picking up and see if you can't pick up with me. Thank you guys. Good night. No. I'm gonna come to 3 on the count of 3. We'll have to find you'll get it. This one takes everyone. Instead of 1, 2, 3. What's happening here? People use hypnosis to describe a huge variety of things. The closest people are actually experiencing something so dramatic that we can't easily explain it with things like relaxation or focus or guidance. What's the secret that's giving these hypnotic inductions that seemingly magic mind control power over? I think I figured it out. And if I'm right, then hypnosis is the best of these. I think hypnosis is primarily about one thing. Convincing the subject that the hypnotist has control over it. That's it. I want to paraphrase to really clarify it. I'm arguing that the hypnosis is nothing more than a person holding the belief that he or she is being controlled by the hypnotist. It's not true. It's just a persuasion process. And the reason that these hypnotic inductions are working is because they look convincing enough. I think the best way to make this abstract point real to you is to walk you through what I just did with Pilar. So, Pilar, may I bring you one more time on stage? Thank you very, very, very much, Hilai. I can stand this here. My only focus is to persuade Pilar to have control over her eyes. Once it's done, game over. So the first thing is that we ask to close her eyes, ask her to up and realize that her eyes are getting too much. So that's just lower position trick. You have your eyes closed, you look up, just kind of follow your eyes. One thing we'll try, everybody close your eyes for a moment. Without moving your head, look up, and realize that it's just a little bit harder to open your eyes. Open your eyes. We love things to herself. I can't open my eyes because of them. The word said made it happen. From that point on, it doesn't matter if she looks forward or anything. She believes that her eyes will remain shut. And with the legs, I also did some subtle magician trickery just to convince her. But the other interesting thing is making her believe. Yes, enough to kind of see shoulders perfect. And slide the right foot makes that. Now, we all know how to walk. We know to legs. Shift the weight of the other foot. That's one. I asked the other If it's slowly split my hand up to that. That's still, that's a lesson in that. Fighting that, no? Doesn't that feel like that? And then he like, I tried picking up my leg just like I always do. It must be safe. And when I see the moment for me, but you look and take about I've been looking at the face throughout the process, and the moment is just like, it's good. That's what I can gain her on other leg, let's go and everything. So again, another future run was also Ilan. Thank you very much. This simple idea can explain everything with this.
Okay.
If we want to convince you to have control over you, and I choose to talk, it would be a speech pattern, or well understood, or have diploma all over my wall, make it read regularly, or claim the license to pilot the work and say, very right now, people must be one. Eva is not. Everyone pretending it's the main solution of this. Or this is some complicated version of mind control, the stage hypnotism device. Now I don't know the above. I think with everything anyone has ever experienced on their own, whether on stage one hypnotherapy, whether he acted more courageously than he does, or quit smoking and or even dealt with physical trauma with everything. Really just this. There's no reason. People are just exploiting the belief that they're being controlled by someone or something else. People sense the legitimacy to do what they already want to do and be what they already want to do.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So that is a nice little explanation of hypnosis.
I just discovered this video like a couple days ago, because I was looking for something new content. Now I'm going to try my son, and he thinks it's been great. I can't try it, because Monday that's not the man. Did you guys actually close your eyes when you said and try it? Right, you close your eyes, look up, and then try to open your eyes. You haven't done it, try it. You can't, it's hard. So I'm going to try this one somewhere, see if I can try it. It's really cool.
So hypnosis is an altered state of consciousness. It's not our regular waking, alertness, right?
And according to your text, you have 4 elements of hypnosis. And that helps, the hypnotist actually work in hypnotism. First, you're to help the person to focus on what's being said. That's essential. If your hypnotic victim or whatever it is not focusing on what you're saying, then they're not going to be it. They're told to relax, to feel tired, told to let go and accept suggestions.
That's the elemental thing.
You have to be willing to accept the suggestions. You're told to use vivid imagination, which is also standard. Have any of you ever seen a hypnotist or magician or something do a hypnosis on stage? Or on TV? Well, they tend to do all these things, right? And hypnotic susceptibility takes referred to whether, the degree to which a person is a good hypnotic subject. Some people are easier to hypnotize than others. I've actually wanted to be hypnotized. I've gotten up on stage when they've asked for volunteers. I have never been hypnotized. I'm not susceptible. I tend to be questioning too much. I really wish someone had tried one of those eye tricks on me, because that probably would have convinced me. That's why I like that little video, because it shows you using a little extra thing to convince people that the hypnotist has the power. Right? This is a kind of hypnotic susceptibility for when you test, kind of things that make it easier for you to be susceptible to hypnosis.
And when you actually reach that state.
And here is also when you test
or one budget. These are some kind of things that hypnosis can or can't do. We see a lot of myths about hypnosis. We see it in, in movies, books, and everything. So hypnosis can create amnesia for what happens during discussion for a while. Okay, you can, under hypnosis, be told to forget it. You'll probably remember it eventually, right? But if the hopefully it's that hypnosis can contribute to misremembering, right? It can also be strength, right? You can't do anything you aren't already. You can relieve pain. It does this because you're distracting the person, you're moving that attention from the pain. Now, meditation is also very effective with pain management, right? And there's two ways it's effective. One way is similar to this, is that the meditation can help you go somewhere else, so you're not focusing on the pain. Another way is actually your meditation guide will come to actually focus on that pain, pay attention to it, understand it, and let it dissolve. So there's two ways of using attention to this pain. Hypnosis, well, there's many ways, but hypnosis is just kind of remove that attention, right? It cannot enhance memory, not reality. What it can do is create or contribute to the creation of false memory. So yeah, false memory people, there is if you're in a suggestible state, we know that we create false memories for ourselves daily all the time. People can help us. We'll talk about this in the memory chapter. We'll talk about eyewitness testimony and the problem of memory. And every time we retrieve a memory, we retrieve it, we bring it into working memory, we put it back along, but then it can change. So, and any time you are susceptible to having your memory kind of system, right? It can also be essential to accept that when you are under hypnosis, you can be told that you felt things you don't really expect. People, a good hypnotist can make subjects, think they smell fire and get worried or get up and move around or think they smell an apple pie. It can also be sensory perception for sure. You can often regret after childhood, after the child, to help you relax. You regret your past life. In fact, there's no scientific evidence of past life regression. There's no scientific evidence of past life. Stop. So I kind of like the video because as you watch, he suggests that really it's the subject, him or herself, that uses hypnosis as a way to achieve goals of health. Okay? Certainly there are therapies with hypnosis that are quite effective, and that might be how it's working. And here's another little talk, which we're not going to watch now, but you can go and click on this. Using hypnosis to positively enhance your life perspective. Hypnosis can be very useful. So this is available to you guys. It's already on Canvas in the PDF of the slideshow. So how does it happen? The guy was just watching a Ben Tail on the TED Talk. Yeah, we don't really know exactly what's going on, but one thing we do know is an altered state of consciousness. So how is this working? There's a couple theories. One is hypnosis dissociation. While it is working in your immediate consciousness and the way you're acting at that moment, the idea is there's always a hidden observer who's aware of what's going on. I'm waiting to be hypnotized so I can have an opinion on this. Someday I'll get someone hypnotized so I can know. I want to know. But hard to say. Again, hard to say. This is just a theory. The social problem theory of hypnosis is that rather than actually being in an altered state, you're playing the role expected of them. So you have a little social desirability going on. People want to be hypnotized, and so they're therefore acting according to the hypnotist suggestion. This has frequently been my belief when I sat and watched hypnosis. I've never, ever been able to decide if the people on stage are actually pretending or if they're hypnotized. Okay? Or if it's something like this where they want to be hypnotized or they're doing what the hypnotist tells them. I don't know. Has anyone here been hypnotized? No? What were you hypnotized by? You could be hypnotized by friends, by therapists, you can be hypnotized by also doc, I guess like that would be. So that's interesting. That's an interesting thought. It was kind of go on with what the person's big tail we just watched talk about. I don't know if that counts as persuasion yet. And if what Taylor was saying was that it's really about persuasion, then that will be some kind of a form of hypnotism. You know, that's a good, people talk about mass hypnosis. Certainly within the realm of possibility, right? But most of what we talk about in hypnosis is fiction, and it's really fun to think about. It's also very useful. So this is going to be our little discussion topic for today. And we might do another if we have time. This is one I frequently have people do when it's an online course. If you could wave a magic wand and experience two of the following altered states of consciousness, which two would you choose and why? You already experienced one, tell us about it. So we already talked about lucid dreaming on Monday. So we can kind of leave that out, but I'd like you guys to get up and form two, I think you really only need, 2 or 3 groups. And just talk about if you know, if you've experienced it in them and what you would like to do if you could just wave a wand and do something. So go ahead and just give you 4 minutes, just a short, let's get up, move around, talk a few minutes, and then we'll keep going. Let me pause. Everybody sit. Anybody have any cool stories you want to share? If anybody had prophetic dreaming experience, is that like they did in the future or they don't think so? Really? Yeah. Did you ever dream a lot of numbers? No. That's weird. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't mind things, but I was
Yeah.
where what there's
Prophetic dreaming was made as true. Getting you into string theory and multiple realities, parallel realities. So that's definitely interesting. How about out-of-body experience? Anyone have an out-of-body experience? I have. In my last class, one person had. When I was like 14, my mom was driving during the full study pickup, and somebody like pulled out and ran into us and spun us around. As soon as I saw that other car coming, I suddenly like was up and watching it all from on top. And I think I thought I was going to die, and I got scared out of my own body. And I watched the whole accident from above, and then later, like my account corresponded to what had happened and everything. We actually hit our bumper and just spun us out. But yeah, that was my experience with that. How about hyper alertness? Simply alert and aware of your surroundings. I think so. And you know what's not here? Flow. I don't know if I mentioned flow last week. Flow is, I think, what's kind of melted state. I don't
sometimes with sports, when something is just hard enough, you get to a point where everything is present and you're just responding without, you're totally focused and totally in a flow state where you're only, this is happening with writing working, where that's on totally in the present. And you have to be just difficult enough so that you're challenged, but not so difficult to feel good. So that was one that's not on here. I don't know about how to alert if I actually wonder, I don't know if that happens to you or not, but I think it's good. Maybe I'm not sure. How about deep meditation? Anyone experience that? Not me. You have? I don't think so. I kind of remember what we were mentioning on Monday. You actually somehow. Yeah. Hypnosis. Anyone get hypnotized? Everybody has that. You know, right? Trance, yeah. A synonym to a single stimulus. Rapture. Mind is not being raptured because you've been raptured to a seizure. Having intentionally or having emotion, someone has your death experience. You want to experience that. Yeah? Wow, was it scary? Yes, so I was trying to do this really hard. And I just like always wanted to thought you were gonna die. Just like scary again. You don't. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So anyway, this is an idea for this. Anybody want to share anything else before we move on? Anything you particularly want to do out of these things? Who would like to have an out-of-body experience? Yeah, that's a popular one. People always want that in prophetic dreaming. I want prophetic dreaming, but only if it tells me the lottery and not dead people. That would not be good. Okay, moving on. We're going to move on to drugs. Drugs would help you to achieve some of these altered states for better, for worse, such as trances, right? And we're going to talk about them here. Psychoactive drugs and dependence. So psychoactive just means it alters the purpose, alters the attention, perception, and memory. Exactly what a psychoactive drug does. Altered state. And we did talk on Monday a little bit how people, the academics, and we'll see probably see a little bit of video that talks about that later on. Psychological dependence, that means the drug is needed to continue a feeling of emotional or psychological well-being. Not the same as physiological or physical dependence. In physical dependence, your body, you are physiologically dependent on this society. There's two main characteristics here. You're physiologically or physically addicted, you need more and more of the drugs to achieve the same effect. If you do not get the drug, you experience withdrawal symptoms. Physical symptoms, which can be nausea, tremors, high blood pressure, headache, caffeine withdrawal symptoms include a headache. You've ever been around someone who is quitting smoking, they can be tremendously cranky, right? For a long time. If I go on a diet, which I don't do anymore, but if I'm just, I get hangers, you know, if I just have, I get really cranky, so that's like not the same. That's why food is such a difficult thing. You know, you are physically dependent on food. And people who have some overeating problems is because they have psychological dependence on certain eating habits mixed in. But because you can never stop eating, it's quite complicated. You can't go cold turkey and say, I'm not going to eat more to get rid of my psychological dependence on eating ice cream. I can't do it by doing cold turkey on all food. Okay.
Dependence. So what brains play an important role in dependency or addiction, okay? We saw, the video we saw, I think on Monday, where we talked about dopamine and addiction, remember that? Was it kind of, actually, it might have been chapter 2. I don't know, we'll get together. I think it's chapter 2, right? And it really shows how when you take drugs, it messes up the dopaminergic reaction to reward, right? Because normally dopamine, you get a surge of dopamine, you get a dopamine response when presented with an unexpectedly rewarding experience. But then after that experience, the dopamine responds to expectations of having that reward. But when you have a drug problem, you have that continual dopamine response to the presence of the drug. And so here's a little bit of detail from the textbook, which also addresses that drugs enter the reward pathway, your whole dopaminergic system, you get pleasure. And the brain tries to catch this by reducing the receptors for dopamine amongst many other things that are going on, and then you need more drugs. And it's a very simplistic understanding. This is, of course, not true for everything. You do not become, for caffeine, you don't need more and more caffeine to stay awake in the morning. You can have 2 cups of caffeine for your entire life, and you can be addicted to it without actually needing more caffeine. So here's what's a picture of the brain reward pathway. And we talked about dopamine and how the cells communicate with the ideas that start in the ventral area. It's quite nice. You know about the reward pathway, but the research is new every day on this, so you don't need to know. Oh, I have some chats going on here. Oh, well, I'm going to ignore it for now. So, different types of drugs. Hang on, I pick this up. Okay, so stimulants increase the functioning of the nervous system. You probably know this. This is how much you need to know about it as far as speaking about it. Amphetamines are synthesized. Cocaine is a natural drug. Well, in the sense that was hopefully our pleasure, it makes it capable of sustaining activity for longer time. Nicotine is also a stimulant. I put in tobacco, nicotine is very addictive, which is why it's so hard to stick smoking habits, so easy to become addicted to it. Not healthy. It used to be advertised as something healthy a long time ago, when the tobacco companies were trying to convince people that it wasn't healthy now. Caffeine, coffee, tea, soda, chocolate. Mountain Dew is like having no caffeine in any other soda, effectively not alcohol. Caffeine headache. You get your body in a habit of receiving a certain amount of caffeine every day. We know caffeine is actually good for us. A lot of studies show that there's many benefits to drinking coffee, and caffeine by itself should be caffeine part of it. There's a trick to avoiding, like I have coffee on weekends and tea during the week. And I try not to do the same hour. If you don't do every single day the same hour of your dose of coffee, then you won't get that caffeine. Caffeine is also good for headaches that are not caused by lack of caffeine, right? It can help prevent various diseases. Instead, then the over-the-counter drugs, pain reliever has caffeine in it. That's why it's particularly good at relieving headaches. We talked about in chapter 2 how stimulants are good to help people against deficit disorder or ADHD as well. And so caffeine helps with that, helps people focus. A lot of benefits to it. Okay, so the peppers do the opposite. They decrease the functioning of the nervous system, they slow it down. Barbiturates, like anxiety and reduce stress. Use the system anxiety. Well, technology, you know, like that, but they just drive people where it's at. Alcohol is the most common depressant. People tend to think that alcohol is a stimulant because stimulant about 30 minutes after, you know, you've had your first drink, maybe a bit before, depending, you feel happy and, you know, you're more talkative because you feel more relaxed, less self-aware. Okay? That only lasts a certain time and you track. What contributes to alcohol addiction is once that crack, once that happy feeling, the buzz is gone, then you feel worse unless you take another drink. Okay? You can continue to drink just to maintain that level of happy, right? Or not even happy because you're not thinking about the problem. But it is a depressant. If you fall asleep, and later, as I mentioned before, you then wake up about 5 hours later. And here's your some ideas what alcohol level and behavior associated with alcohol. So a drink is about half an ounce of alcohol. So depending, of course, what is in here, you can have one kind of beer, one drink. If it's the kind of beer I won't like, I like my beer to have a lot more 45% alcohol. One glass of wine, one shot of fruit. The past times of drinks is really more than just one drink. We were talking about, you know, you say, limit yourself to a drink a day or 1 to 2 drinks a day. A margarita is 3 drinks. You know, not one. And a beer or a beer that I like is 2 drinks. Glass of wine form is not very much. Nowadays they have these gigantic glasses that have far more than 4. A bottle of wine should have 6 glasses of wine in it, if you go by this more, but most people don't do it, right? And certain cases don't know a couple drinks, doing the well-being, less ambition, possibly for judgment, or driving. You know, again, this is really depending on how heavy you are, if you're heavier and have more muscle. Women tend to be more, get much faster, and alcohol can be worse for them. Not only because we're smaller, but because we tend to have more fat content in our bodies. More muscles, less susceptibility to alcohol. So you metabolize alcohol better if you have more muscles and are bigger, right? So what did you drink? Doesn't too much, it's hair driving. I'm like, you know, being really sticky, that's also good. Once you start drinking more, you can drink. Now, I love this. This is from your textbook. It might be an older version of it. Can't remember. But as you drink more, it gets worse and worse. You can forget. You guys know what blacking out is. You don't remember what happened. You're walking, talking to normal people, but the next day, things you maybe rather not know, or maybe just that you're having a great time at the party and you have one big zero. Why? Because alcohol keeps inhibits the memory consolidation. And your working memory, which is that what we're going to talk about after chapter 6, I think, that's where our actual presence is. That's where we're actually in the midst of everything we're thinking about in the moment. That's fine. It's kind of how drunk you are. What happens is it keeps your memory from going into long-term storage. So you're walking, talking with the normal, maybe drunk, but it is more normal, you don't remember it. Alcoholic, with a long time of drinking too much alcohol, they have the same problem when they're not drunk. Okay? Because the alcohol is pressing the system that memories are not happening at any time of day and have trouble consolidating. All sorts of bad things. This thing, when people drink a lot, so lethal doses for about 50% of people with 14% drink. And alcoholics drink all the time, their tolerance is greater, and so they will not die after drinking something that will probably kill most people with alcohol. So anyway, just words of caution, be aware, it's one of the most common drugs
More depression. Opiates. Opiate-related drugs, narcotics, is progressive sensation of pain by binding to our natural receptor sites for endorphins in the nervous system. So our brains, our nervous systems are made to be drugged by opiates. That's why opiate addiction is such a problem. Heroin is highly addictive and it doesn't take much to become addicted to it. Because like I said, we already have the receptor. Opium is derived from the opium poppy. All narcotic drugs are derived from that. Morphine is derived from opium. If anybody uses morphine in medical context, then you should. I had some operation. I was on morphine for 24 hours. Wonderful feeling. They take you off it pretty quickly because they don't want you to do it. We have a huge opiate problem in this country. People are addicted to a narcotic, drugs, continue to break because they don't need them because they're prescribing in the community. When I looked at Oklahoma, something like 100 something doctors lost their license for prescribing opiates unnecessarily. They're getting paid, right? Huge opiate addiction is really, really sad. Just remember highly addictive painkillers. Now we come to hallucinogens. Hallucinogens are like the maximum opioid content, right? We saw on Monday the whole thing that started the opioid state trailer, which is some news, but there's also a lot of facts today. LSD, so manufactured drugs will develop the lab. LSD, CCP is absolutely the tranquilizer. LSD was developed to be over use. Implemented ecstasy, molly, designer drugs, party drugs, or similar very popular for a while. Also, used therapeutically. Stimulatory and hallucinogenic drugs producing a mixture of psychomotor, stimulant, and hallucinogenic effects. Doesn't be bad if it's making you describe psychomotor stimulant or thinking that you know that setting up your windows is setting up your target, which is why that happens. People under the influence of hallucinogens. Then there's a naturally occurring one, marijuana. Yeah, actually, we're gonna look at that. You know, I see this slide from a long time ago, so it says about marijuana. That little bit right there, mild hallucinogens derived from the sweet flowers of a type of citrus. So this is the feeling of well-being, mild concentration, mild sensation. And this little bit right there is from the top of the scale illegal. And now in most areas, so let's have a look at this little video. I already brought it up. We hear about the benefits of it a lot. And there are certainly good benefits, but
in 1970, marijuana was classified as a Schedule I drug in the United States, the strictest medication possible, meaning it was completely illegal and had no recognized medical uses. For decades, this view persisted and set back research on the drug's mechanisms and effects. Today, marijuana's therapeutic benefits are widely acknowledged, and some nations have legalized medical use or are moving in that direction. But a growing recognition for marijuana's medical value doesn't answer the question: is recreational marijuana use bad for the brain? Marijuana acts on the body's cannabinoid system, which has receptors all over the brain and body. Molecules named to the body, called endocannabinoids, also act on these receptors. We don't totally understand the cannabinoid system, but it has one feature that provides a big clue to its function. Most neurotransmitters travel from one neuron to the next through a synapse to propagate a message. But endocannabinoids travel in the opposite direction. When a message passes from one neuron to the next, the receiving neuron releases endocannabinoids. Those endocannabinoids travel backward to influence the sending neuron, essentially giving it feedback from the receiving neuron. This leads scientists to believe that an endocannabinoid system serves primarily to modulate other kinds of signals, amplifying some and diminishing others. Feedback from endocannabinoids slows down rates of neural signal. That doesn't necessarily mean it slows down behavior or perception. For example, slowing down a signal that inhibits smell could actually make smells more intense. Marijuana contains two main active compounds, tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, and cannabidiol, or CBD. THC is thought to be primarily responsible for marijuana's psychoactive effects on behavior, cognition, and perception, while CBD is responsible for the non-psychoactive effects. Like endocannabinoids, THC slows down signal by binding to cannabinoid receptors, but it binds to receptors all over this scrolling, diffuse system at once, whereas endocannabinoids are released in a specific place in response to a specific stimulus. This widespread activity, coupled with the fact that the cannabinoid system indirectly affects many other systems, means that each person's particular brain chemistry, genetics, and previous life largely determine how they experience the drug. That's true much more so with marijuana than with other drugs that produce their effects through one or a few specific pathways. So the harmful effects, if any, vary considerably from person to person. And while we don't know exactly how marijuana produces specific harmful effects, there are clear risk factors that can increase people's likelihood of experiencing it. The clearest risk factor is age. In people younger than 25, cannabinoid receptors are more concentrated in the white matter than in people over 25. The white matter is involved in communication, learning, memory, and emotions. Frequent marijuana use can disrupt the development of white matter tracts and also affect the brain's ability to grow new connections. This may damage long-term learning and problem solving. For now, it's unclear how severe this damage can be or whether it's reversible. And even among young people, the risk is higher. A number of someone is much higher for a 15-year-old than a 22-year-old. Marijuana can also cause hallucinations or paranoid delusions. Known as marijuana-induced psychosis, these symptoms usually subside when a person stops using marijuana. But in rare cases, psychosis doesn't subside. Instead of masking a persistent psychotic disorder. Family history of psychotic disorders, like schizophrenia, is the clearest though not the only risk factor for its effect. Marijuana-induced psychosis is also more common among young adults, though it's worth noting that psychotic disorders usually surface in this age range anyway. What's unclear in these cases is whether the psychotic disorder would have appeared without marijuana use, whether marijuana use triggers it early, is a catalyst or a tipping point that wouldn't have been crossed otherwise, or whether the reaction to marijuana is merely an indication of a underlying disorder. In all likelihood, marijuana's role varies from person to person. At any age, as with many other drugs, the brain and body become less sensitive to marijuana after repeated uses, meaning it takes more to achieve the same effects. Fortunately, unlike many other drugs, there is no risk of fatal overdose from marijuana, and even heavy use doesn't debilitate or life-threatening withdrawal symptoms if used stops. There are more subtle forms of marijuana withdrawal, though, including sleep disturbances, irritability, and depressive mood, which acts within a few weeks of stopping use. So, is marijuana bad for your life? It depends who you are. But while some risk factors are easy to identify, others aren't well understood, which means there's still some possibility of experiencing negative effects, even if you don't have any of the known risk factors.
All right.
go on. Figured that was good to, because now pot is legal and all over the place, so. Get our perspective. So moving on from marijuana. Say no, say, next one. Okay, next one we can use for our constituency process. Anybody heard of that? So we read, a separate reality by Carlos Castaneda. We interactions with a shaman, Don Juan. Of course, he has been largely proven to be people, but it's still really interesting. It's got to use different, different employees to transport you from information. Carlos, I don't have that question. We talked about that on Monday, I believe. Largely not very risky and can be in some therapeutic situations. And we have any questions for us? Don't eat mushrooms if you can find them out, though, because a lot of them will kill you, and really quickly. So how do drugs affect consciousness? This is just kind of a list of what we've already gone through. You can look at it. Anyone? Other things? Hallucinations? Okay, so they're also natural ones. We mentioned this on Monday. I know in most of my classes, someone asks me about it. When you wake up with 24 hours, like you see someone standing. That would be the word I can't remember on Monday. Hypnopompia. Hallucination. That's right where the CDC state of mentality is when you have sleep paralysis and you kind of wake up and you see things, right? It's logic is said to happen in the falling asleep rather than when you're coming out of naturally. And okay, here's a little, we have time to look a little bit at this. Oops, not fun, fantastic fungi. Actually, maybe we'll look at fantastic fungi first. If it's not going to work, is it? No, it won't. All right. Any questions so far? We'll watch a little bit of this talk on 50 and Fantastic Fungi is a Netflix documentary that I was terribly disappointed in. I really like mushrooms, like the kind you eat, like coffees and everything like that. I'm really interested in like ones growing in the wild and identifying them. And I thought this would be all about that. It's really all about shrooms, about magic mushrooms and their future. Fantastic Fungi. About half it's really cool. And later it's like an advertisement for. But anyway, we're going to see this one up here, or at least a little bit of it. We'll finish up pretty quickly. Just kind of talks about the history.
Preparing for this talk has been scarier for me than preparing for LSD therapy. Psychedelics are to the study of the mind what the microscope is to biology and the telescope is to astronomy. Stanislav Grof spoke those words. He's one of the leading psychedelic researchers in the world, and he's also been my mentor. Today, I'd like to share with you how psychedelics, when used wisely, have the potential to help heal us, help inspire us, and perhaps even to help save us. In the 1950s and 60s, psychedelic research flourished all over the world and showed great promise for the fields of psychiatry, psychology, and psychotherapy, neuroscience, and the study of mystical experiences. But psychedelics leaked out of the research settings and began to be used by the counterculture and by the anti-Vietnam War movement. And there was unwise use. And so there was a backlash. In the 1970s, the U.S. government criminalized all uses of psychedelics and began shutting down all psychedelic research. And this ban spread all over the world. It lasted for decades, and it was tragic. And psychedelics are really just tools, and whether their outcomes are beneficial or harmful depend on how they're used.
We might have lost internet. All right, so maybe that'll start. Manifesting. Maybe it's gonna go. Okay. Okay, so the reason I was showing this to you is just for food for thought. This guy is psychiatrist, I believe. He talks about the potential benefits of things like LSD, which can also be terrible. Okay? So people took LSD to try to expand their mind and be like, well, it's aware to this small part of the greater world and make people more independent. Well, it can also make you crazy. It can also make you think to fly. It can also lead to addiction and terrible abuse, terrible situation. So I wanted to go, but oh well. People want it whether you want, but then we'll think about, drugs, whether we can use recreationally, maybe use them as part of a therapy situation. They can benefit us, they can lead us to the overstate of consciousness, which most of us like that idea at some point. We're like, oh, this is really cool to, have an out-of-body experience, to see the world or from a different place, or astral travel. I mean, that's like ultimate out-of-body experience. You can on purpose travel around without your body. Now, a lot of people think that can happen, but then there's also the dangerous aspect of it. So we talked about the psychedelics started in the lab and they escaped the lab and were taken over by counterculture by which I've seen being like and everything. And basically people were destroyed on that stuff. And it was kind of implying that, well, if that hadn't happened, we'd go, hey, things do happen. Things get out in the world. And there are benefits to a lot of things, and then there's some things that have a little bit. I can't take one benefit from heroin. But as a painkiller, opiates are useful. Although there's a study that from a couple of years ago, maybe just last year, that shows that a lot of things that have been traditionally treated with opioids can be treated with ibuprofen. And then we talked about random blinded studies. People don't know what they're getting, or just there are certain things that have been treated with opioids you can treat such as ibuprofen, and without that problem of addiction. Because when you use opioid painkillers, they have to taper you off, or there is some risk of addiction. Thinking of possible pros and cons of this kind of stuff, which is not so we're going to stop here. Are there any questions? Well, next week we will cover learning. The week after that is midterm one. Okay, all right. Well, I will see you. Have a good rest of the week and weekend, and I'll see you Monday.